Hello, my name is Taylor Peyton. I'm from the School of Hospitality, just like mock around here. And my colleagues and I are studying authenticity as the expression of authenticity as a developmental process for employees in the workplace. And I'd like to begin this technical research presentation with the wisdom of our friend Kermit the Frog. He says, "It's not easy being green." And to this, I'll add, when all of your colleagues are maybe colored blue. And so Kermit here would understand that when you're different, it's hard to show who you are, your true self, to others at work because you may feel unseen, or maybe you'll be afraid that they're rejecting you. Authenticity has been defined by Kernis as the unobstructed operation of one's true or core self in one's daily enterprise. 40 years earlier, Goffman looked at authenticity as a form of impression management, looking at people as actors on stage. Today, we ask a lot of questions about if we have multiple selves. Social media, is our social media self different from the self we show to our family, from the self we show to work? And this question about, is authenticity difficult to obtain at work? It's a really serious one, especially for early career employees who don't have their professional selves defined yet. If I'm supposed to act from my authentic self and I don't know who I am, what does that even look like? So our research question is here: how do new employees resolve feelings of inauthenticity such that they come to express a more authentic version of themselves at work? And the methods we used, we interviewed 21 new early career employees from hotels, and we inductively coded this, did content analysis to develop this model, which is a developmental process for authenticity. And here, we have, if you'll notice, there's a sense-making process involved, very meaning-making flowing all the way through. And you also have at the far left, the crisis moment I want to point out is the very first piece of this, is the moment where you wake up as the new employee and you say, "Oh, I just acted in a way that wasn't authentic to me. What was that all about?" And so that's the invitation for them to work on this for themselves or not. Secondly, I'd like to point out that we're uncovering psychological and behavioral mechanisms for authenticity at work. Cognitive learning is often self-referential for these employees. So maybe we had an employee who was thinking of themselves as a high school student and how they were a competitive athlete, and they have that competitive mindset, and they want to bring that competitive mindset into their new sales call position so that they can feel like themselves as they're defining themselves in role. Next, we noticed that behavioral testing is important. We had an employee who was all about being humorous. He was a very funny person, as he identified. And so with his new colleagues, he would test out jokes. He wouldn't start with the really serious, big political joke at first with his new colleagues. He would start with the kind of joke you'd find on a popsicle stick to just test the waters and see how he'd be received. Next up is a mechanism. The sensitivity to social influence is very important for this process. We have people who are motivated to quickly abandon themselves when their authenticity is pressed. And so, for example, this humorous employee I was referring to, when he would meet up with a colleague who wouldn't laugh at his jokes, he would be more likely to hide who he was in the future from that colleague. Maybe he needed better material, I don't know, but the point is it's an iterative process that involves a lot of feedback in relationship to others. And I must also say that this involves a social influence process, that I can't leave that out, that you need to be trustworthy and you need peer support and supervisor support around you, ideally, such that if you have your new employees who are supported in a way that they are accepted by the people around them and encouraged to be themselves, of course, they're going to be more authentic. And so as part of the so what for why this matters, an employee's healthy sense of self in the workplace is critical for retention, for psychological well-being, for high-quality human interactions with their guests. And to facilitate this process, I want to encourage us all to have organizations and leaders who really support and signal safety and trust to our employees if we want to create truly inclusive workplaces where people thrive. Thank you.